what about Lewis Hamilton's pace? Hamilton behind Esteban Ocon. The Alpine has looked racy, but I tell you what.
Mercedes have done some significant upgrades on their car prior to the Montreal GP, and it seems like they're up to the chase when it comes to catching Ferrari and Red Bull. This has been noted by the Red Bull's executive Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, the chief of drivers development program. But what is it that made the Mercedes competitive again, and have they fixed the porpoising problem once and for all? More importantly, is the team now competent to match the tempo of Red Bull and be a direct threat just like last year? These and many more questions will be answered in this video, so stick with us until the very end. Although Mercedes is still not on the levels of Ferrari and Red Bull, their car is yet to experience a DNF situation. Thanks to that feature only, Mercedes have been able to stick around to just 38 points behind Ferrari, who sits at P2. The reliability issues of the Ferrari have made them really vulnerable when it comes to performance, as both their cars suffered DNF situations in Baku. Apart from the 1-2 win for Red Bull, Mercedes were able to finish P3 and P4 and grab many valuable points for the team. In the Drivers' Championship, Russell's very close to Leclerc, as the Monegasque leads by just 15 points. Not just Ferrari, but also Red Bull are the ones that struggle with reliability issues. Although Ferrari used the most by their DNF situations, Mercedes were able to grab podiums in Bahrain when both Red Bulls retired, and in Australia when Verstappen retired and Russell grabbed the P3. In Barcelona, Leclerc had to retire due to a turbo failure, and this was perfectly utilized by Russell as he managed to finish P3. Apart from him, the Mercedes of Hamilton showed immense progress from P20 to P5, and at one point he was able to pass the Ferrari of Sainz. However, he had to give up his place at P4 due to a possible race-ending issue, and Hamilton had to be satisfied with P5. All in all, Mercedes is showing immense signs of progress and could be knocking on the door for wins sooner rather than later. This was noted earlier in the season by the head of the Red Bull Drivers Development Program, Dr. Marko, and it seems like he knew that Mercedes will figure out their problems sooner than everybody anticipated. Mercedes is doing incredibly fast laps in practice and also in the races, both with Hamilton and Russell, not continuously, so for us, it's difficult to interpret where the lap time is coming from, added Marko, as he hinted that Mercedes has hidden potential somewhere and the team is still missing some pieces to have the perfect puzzle. Listening closely to the Mercedes people, I don't think they know either, but the dangerous thing is the potential seems to be there. And once that can be called up over a race distance, they'll be right up there or right at the front, added Marko when asked about what he believes the future of Mercedes holds. One reason why Red Bull is afraid of Mercedes' hidden performance is the bluffing of the Silver Arrows. Helmut Marko believes that the team is still bluffing with the engine performance, as it has turned into a consistent habit for them to apply this manner in F1. In his own words, Marko said, "The bluff was where they had this weird engine advantage, and last year, the Hamilton engine, there they were bluffing hard, so I don't believe that. And it's really incredibly hard to understand where this car is incredibly fast. They're the fastest in the field at one stage, but it doesn't last long. What exactly changes there, why they can't drive that continuously, is just, thank God, still the problem, I would say," finished Marko. Helmut Marko is known for throwing cheap shots at Mercedes drivers, mostly because of the fierce rivalry that happened last year. When Hamilton was lapped by Imola by Verstappen, Marko didn't hold back on his words, as he said that the best thing for Hamilton at that race was to retire after being overlapped. However, Hamilton responded quickly, as he said, "I take that as fuel. I'm putting that into the pot, and I'm going to turn that into a positive, and I'm going to come back stronger. We're going to come back stronger as a team," added Hamilton. And it's true, ever since Imola, Hamilton's performance has bloomed. Well, he hasn't been able to fight for wins yet, but just last week he gained his first podium since Bahrain after finishing P3 behind Sainz and Verstappen. The Brit may not have the pace as of now, but he'll be back on track sooner rather than later, especially with the new regulations of the FIA regarding the porpoising problem. Why do we think Red Bull is fearing Mercedes? Well, after the decent performances of Hamilton, Helmut Marko has changed his narrative about the Brit. He also believes that Verstappen is far away from deleting Hamilton from his competition list, and he'll remain there for the remainder of the season. The car's getting faster every day from the top times. They are already at our level or even better, so you really shouldn't write them off. If Mercedes suddenly dominates everything again, then Hamilton will be back too, added Helmut. However, even with Mercedes finding continuous pace throughout the races, time may be running out for them. The 2022 season was set to be Hamilton's revenge season, and after the Montreal GP, he has managed to pick up 77 total points in the season. Compared to Max Verstappen, that's 98 points less in just 9 rounds passed in the season. We know that Hamilton is most dangerous when pushed against the wall, but the dominance of Mercedes last year and this one just aren't comparable. Hamilton isn't known for waiting and seeing how things will turn out, and earlier in this season, he set a deadline for his team to fix things around if they want to see him sticking with them for the rest of the season. I hope by the time we get to the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, we will have the car as we want it, to be able to fight with Ferrari and Red Bull. It would be nice if we can give them a run for their money at our home race. I know that work is going on tirelessly in the factory to make progress with the car, and I have no doubt we'll get it right sooner or later, added Hamilton. Now it seems like the team has fixed the majority of their problems. The first one was the no-pod, side-pod design, with which Mercedes found extreme backlash from the media and other F1 experts. They believed that the results in the simulator would translate on the track, but that wasn't the case at the beginning of the season. This is why Hamilton has publicly said that he's open for the team to revert to a more traditional design of the car that would bring him back to the podium fight. Prior to the Montreal GP, the team was able to put the second floor unit on their car for free practice. This upgrade was banned prior to the season start, but with the new FIA rules that allowed teams to put anything on their car that would help them battle the porpoising problem, Mercedes was able to mount it for Friday's event. However, the team received a lot of backlash from other teams about the regularity of the process, which is why they decided to run with the floor unit from Baku GP. This brings us to the second problem, the porpoising. The second unit floor helps teams to fight the porpoising phenomenon. Although the team didn't use it in the Montreal GP due to them being the only ones that were able to mount it on their car in less than 24 hours period, they decided to keep it for the upcoming race in Silverstone. If Mercedes were to run with the second floor unit in Montreal, their already good pace would have been even less better considering the fact that they'll porpoise even less. Even with the old floor from Baku, the porpoising seems to have vanished from the Mercedes cars. They fought with a problem called bottoming out, which is the same thing as porpoising, with the difference that the rear part of the car is hitting the ground, and not the whole car like the porpoising case. This happens on tracks that aren't flat and even, and Silverstone isn't one of those tracks, so Mercedes believes that they'll find some much-needed speed and pace here on Hamilton and Russell's home track. So, with Mercedes unlocking potential with every race passing by, it'll be interesting to see what results they can score in Silverstone. What do you think will happen in Silverstone? Do you think that they'll be able to score big and bring back the glory for the team? Or do you think that they'll stall back, as they did in the previous race, and P3 would be the most realistic position for them? Let us know in the comments below.